Now, from 41 NBC Sports, it's time for Friday Night Football scores and highlights. You're in the end zone. Brought to you in part by Raphael Tire Master and Edwards and Bullard Law with Bill Shanks, Tucker Sargent, and Justin Dirks.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the End Zone. I'm Bill Shanks from the Superstations. Tonight we'll have highlights from the AAA State Championship game in the GIAA at Mercer as John Millage played Deerfield-Windsor. Let's get started, though, with a second-round game in the GHSA as West Lawrence hosted Oconee County in AAA. The Raiders came in undefeated at 11-0 after a 41-point win last week over Beach in round one. Kip Burdett's Raiders are trying for history tonight. West Lawrence has won 11 games 3 times in school history, but tonight they go for a record 12th win. Oconee County was team 20 in the bracket. They beat Northwest Whitfield last week by 2 points. Here we go for the highlights of this game, the West Lawrence, the Raiders, and the Warriors. And let me tell you something. Ty Cummings is the best player, not in our viewing area, in the state of Georgia. He's got 1 million yards rushing. Watch what he did on the opening kickoff. I'm just going to hush and let you watch the run. Touchdown. He is some kind of good. How about 99 yards all the way, 7-0 after the PAT. Oconee now with their first possession. Caden Wood makes a couple of plays, getting a first down. Then he's going to get another one. Trying to show off, trying to be like Ty. Can't do it. He'll get one more, though. And one more first down here. Left side. They're knocking on the door. He's pumped up. Now, pass, intercepted, picked off by West Lawrence. What a great defensive play right there. Javon Hill with a great play for the Raiders. And guess what would happen? Yep, it's Mr. Cummings. He's going to rush for a first down, and it's hard to bring him down. Now they switch sides, second quarter. Here we go. Guess what? Cummings runs and scores into the end zone for a touchdown. PAT was successful. It's 14-0. Now middle of the second quarter, Warriors after another good drive. Brody Hanna passes to Mason Hall. Nice play there. And they're knocking on the door again. Hanna passes to Wood. He's wide open. I might have been able to catch that one. 14-7 after the PAT. West Lawrence still on top. All right, Mr. Cummings is going to do one more thing. Watch this. Watch this. Whoop! He just leaped over him like he was Brock Bowers. So they'll settle for a field goal. Duggan Malone up and good. 17-7.5. West Lawrence wins it easily. 32-7. The Raiders are now 12-0. Kip Burdett, you're the man. You've done a heck of a job. How about let's go on to Savannah now, where Peach County was at Jenkins in AAA second round action. And we picked this up with about 3 minutes left in the second quarter, all tied up at 7. Defense setting the tone. Peach trying to do the job, but look at there, Jenkins. Michael Jackson flying and beat the receiver there. Jenkins now looking to steal a little momentum. Watch this. Kick return, punt return. Domo Johnson. Peach County cannot stop him. An 80-yard touchdown. That would give Jenkins a 14-7 lead going into halftime, and Jenkins would go on to win the game. We appreciate our friends at WJCL for giving us this video. Peach County loses by 10, 38-28. They finished the season at 10-2. Man, I thought Peach County was going to be able to win. When we come back, Johnson County put its undefeated record on the line tonight. That plus Tucker joins us with a home playoff game for Northeast. More of the End Zone coming up right after this.
It's time for more Friday Night Football scores and highlights. You're in the End Zone. Brought to you in part by Raphael Tire Master and Edwards and Bullard Law with Bill Shanks, Tucker Sargent, and Justin Dirks.
Johnson County had to be one of the favorites in their bracket. They've scored 38 points per game this season, but the defense has also been great. The Trojans came into tonight's second round game with Brooks County having allowed only 8.6 points per game. That'll give you an undefeated record. Brooks County, on the other hand, 6-5 after an 18-point win over Taylor County a week ago. To Herschel Walker Field, the battle of the Trojans right here for the highlights of the game, and let's get going now. First quarter, Brooks County with the ball. Junior Burris hands it off. Damari Baynard, and he's down around the 7-yard line. A couple of plays later, Burris again puts it in the air. Anton Graham. Oh, nope, he's out of bounds. Sorry, you're out of luck. Next play, though, George Lamons Jr. will get it, and He is going to get in that end zone for the 6 points. The PAT would be up and good for the other Trojans, and it would be 7-0 Brooks County out on top. Kickoff now coming to Johnson County. All right, here you go. Jeremiah Scott bubbles it first and then picks it up around the 17-yard line. And he's going to take off for a pretty good return. Here you go to avoid some tacklers. Nice moves there. Reminds me of myself in my younger days. Yeah, right, out near midfield and good field position there. A few plays later, Nathan Turberville gives it to number 5, Tayshawn Norris. Gets a good game before being knocked out of bounds. Look out for that fence. And that would be the end of the first quarter. 7-0 Brooks out on top. And if they switch sides, Johnson County still the ball. Turberville, no relation to Tommy, gives it to Scott. Gets down around the 6-yard line there. The very next play, ball would be given to Jeremiah Taylor, who gets in there for the 6 points. This is big. PAT up and good. So it would be tied at 7. And that was what it was then, but Brooks County came back late and won it 17-7, excuse me. The final score, Brooks County over Johnson County. Second straight year Johnson County knocked out in the second round. I tell you, Tuck, I thought they were going to win it. I thought Johnson County had a really good chance, and man, they are knocked out. That is a surprise. All right. Northeast. They had a pretty good shot, right? Swainsboro in town.
Always. Another rematch from a year ago at Thompson Stadium.
Again, you?
My home away from home. That's where I go every week, baby. Northeast and Swainsboro. They met in round 1 last season. Northeast won big, 46-7. And that was actually the first time they'd ever beaten Swainsboro in the 5 meetings to that point. 6th all-time meeting tonight in round 2. The nice crowd for the blackout there at Thompson Stadium. The Red Machine marching band ready to go, and so were the Raiders. They forced a punt on the first Swainsboro possession. Now Northeast is working out of its own end zone. Bam Glover complete to Courtney Williams. Nice gain to move the chains. Then Glover rolling to his right, and he's going to find his man again. It's Courtney Williams. He was the star of last week's game and starts this one off the same way. 64-yard touchdown there for the Raiders. Extra point good. It was 7-0. Tigers take back over, and look at this nice run from who's listed as a freshman for Swainsboro. Look at him just running through the Raiders. He never goes down, but then a few plays later he does go down, and he goes down hard. Watch this, Bill. Boom!
Oh, man.
Huge hit there for Northeast. Taylon Sampson delivering the blow.
Rib rocker.
Rib rocker. Actually, the PA announcer said that. Tigers had to punt it, and Northeast got it. It's Williams, and he finally makes a mistake. He is human after all. Swainsboro in business, and then Williams is going to make up for it. Look at this. The little guy against the big guy. It turns out to be a huge stop. Swainsboro held a third down here now, and the quarterback gets taken down for a sack. Maurice Wilson with a big stop. That would set up a field goal try as we switched ends of the field going to the second quarter, and it was no good. Northeast defense stands solid, still 7-0. Raiders back with it here. Glover, deep ball, complete. Scottavian Thomas with the big catch and the pass interference, and then the quick strike touchdown. Keandre Jackson hauls it in for Northeast. Extra point was no good, but the Raiders had a 13-0 lead. Swainsboro on the board. Look at this catch. It's Cam Coleman, Bill. I got to get an Auburn reference every week. Incredible catch, though. I mean, it's Swainsboro, but we had to show that one.
We'll take him.
Yeah, I know you will.
1.5.
Shannon Benjamin is his name. He scores. It's 13-7, Northeast at the break. To the third quarter now, Raiders march right down the field, tack on another score. That made it 20-7. Both teams scored once more before it was over in the final from Thompson Stadium, 26-14. Look at Coach Wiggins getting on him. That's how you know you're a good coach right there, when you're chewing your team out even though you're in the lead.
That's coaching.
Northeast is going to the quarterfinals for the second straight season, third time since 2021. How about Coach Wiggins getting it done with his alma mater?
That's coaching right there, unlike somebody in Atlanta who never says anything. And they'll play at Toombs County, which is in Vidalia, next week.
Long drive for somebody.
Long drive, for sure. Good window. How about that?
How about that?
All right, we'll take a look at a state championship game with John Millage with our Game of the Week coming up right after this.
It's time for more Friday Night Football scores and highlights. You're in the End Zone, brought to you in part by Raphael Tire Master and Edwards and Bullard Law with Bill Shanks, Parker Sargent, and Justin Dirks.
Look who's here in studio.
I know, first time all year.
I
15
know.
weeks, that's all it took.
Pretty good. You know what? John Millage became a huge story a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
They used to be awful. And then this J.T. Wall character, I don't know where he came from, he became the head coach, and they took off.
Oh, yeah.
And the last time they won a state championship was 3 years ago. Then they kind of bounced back a little bit and had a rough year last year with only 2 wins. But, boy, this year,
Unstoppable.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're looking great. Another region championship. They had those 4 consecutive where the senior class didn't lose any games.
Yeah.
And now they're in the rematch with Deerfield Windsor. They won 49-0 that game back in 2022. You know, obviously the 2-9 year. JT Wall back on track. He's got a pretty good son, I hear, too.
Where's he going to school?
I wonder where he's going to school. You should know that already. Big game at 5 Star Stadium. Here we go. 7th all-time meeting between the two teams. Trojans lead 4-1-1. And then look at the home crowd from Milledgeville looking good tonight. J-May receives the kickoff. First play from scrimmage. Here's the story of the night. Physicality. Javaris Hurt busting up the gut for 10 and a first down. Big night from him. The run goes well. It sets up the pass. Deep ball. Lewis Cheney up the middle to Bryce McDonald. Senior to senior connection. More running from Hurt here. That's physical Big Ten football right there, Phil. Look at that. Why not feed him again if he's going to do that? He bounces right, breaks all the tackles. Now look at this play here. They just keep pushing and pushing and keep on pushing. Keep on pushing.
Then in the weight room.
There it is. That's what it's all about. JT Wall wants physicality, and in the weight room, touchdown Trojans. They're on the board first, 7-0 after the made PAT. And of course, you got to know. Look at that. Coach loving it, crowd loving it. They came to see that. I talked about physicality. Check this out. Boom. Big hit from who else? Asa Wall, the sophomore. Dogs commit. He'll be making plays like that in Athens in a few years. Knights would score and miss the PAT 7-6. First play of the second quarter, an interception in the end zone. Braden Harris. And they're going the other way. Then the handoff to Wall goes left. And you want to talk about patience and physicality. Look at this. Holy smokes. He just keeps going. Along the sidelines, huge game, firing up the whole sideline after that one. They love it. Then it sets up another big run from who else? Hurt. Looks like he makes it in here almost. No, they're going to say he stopped short. No worries. Wall's there for cleanup duty. He gets his touchdown. Trojans up 14-6. Look who it is on defense again. He does it on offense and defense here.
Oh, man.
What a hit.
Rib rocker, too.
Rib rocker. They give up another touchdown, though, 14-12 at the half. J-May with the ball again here. Third quarter, they come back. Wall doing it through the air, too. Then I was working. Check this run out. Hurt. More physicality. Oh, my God. 42-yard gain. I don't even know. Did Deerfield Windsor work out? He gets in the end zone, or the red zone, here, bouncing outside. And the crowd is here for the fourth. That ended the third. And it's number 1 from 1 yard out here again after the start of the fourth here. Another touchdown for the Trojans to go up 21-12. Then John Millage adds another. Who else could it be scoring a touchdown, I wonder? Hurt to the house for 20 yards. Man, this offensive line, shout out to the Trojans offensive line, 27-12. Things get interesting in the last 2 minutes, though. JMA goes for the second victory formation, but the Knights strip it and recover the fumble with 30 seconds left. Have you ever seen that?
No.
30 seconds to go. They're down 8, 28-20. However, they get picked off, defensive holding. They get another shot, tipped, picked. Look who it is. The sophomore, Malik Dorsey, seals it, and it adds another state championship trophy to the mantle. Trojans on top, 28-20, your final. They're 6th in 10 years under JT Wall. Here is Coach Wall. You got to do that shotgun victory formation so it doesn't happen again. Coach Wall, after the game, after the celebration, here he is talking about how proud he is.
I'm kind of lost for words tonight, to be honest with you. To just think about how these guys have came from where they came when we started with them this summer and where they were at last year, and just, you know, the trials they went through. The injury bug hit us, and these guys just kept hitting and kept fighting and kept clawing tonight. So we always say the most physical teams go win the football game, and we felt like we were the most physical team tonight for sure. We had a really tough schedule, and I think that kind of made us postseason ready, and these guys showed out.
Showed out indeed, I would say.
JT just texted me. He wants all you boys in the weight room tomorrow by noon.
They never stop.
They never stop.
Going for it again next year, right?
Awesome.
That's how it goes.
Congratulations to John Millage.
Yeah, what a game.
Thank you, Justin. We'll check out the scoreboards coming up right after this.
It's time for more Friday Night Football scores and highlights. You're in the end zone. Brought to you in part by Raphael Tire Master and Edwards and Bullard Law with Bill Shanks, Parker Sargent, and Justin Dirks.
We've got a doubleheader tomorrow on the Superstations. Coverage of Georgia's stupid Castra Clunker game with Charlotte begins tomorrow morning at 8:45 with Jeff Dantzler. Kickoff will be at 12:45 from Sanford Stadium. Then after the Dogs, it's Georgia Tech with a humongous game for them at home against Pittsburgh. Kickoff will be at 7. Listen on 93.1 FM in Macon and Rochelle, 105.9 FM in Warner Robins, and 98.3 FM in South Central Georgia, and online at thesuperstations.com. All right, let's go to the scoreboard now, where it was not a good night for Middle Georgia. Back her up one. We got Houston County losing by 10, 38-20. That's a tough place to go, is Rome. And the Wolves win by 10 points. Houston County finishes their season at 10-2. Coach Edwards, you did a great job. It was a great season. And Rome will now play Jackson County next week. They beat Milton by 5 points. Cartersville all over Warner Robins. And Cartersville, another tough blow. Trevor Lawrence must have been the quarterback tonight. Good grief. The Purple Hurricanes are now 12-0 as they win 64-0. The Demons finished at 7-5 on the season, and Cartersville will now play Kell, who won by 7 over Southwest DeKalb. Single A Division I, Bleckley County knocked out tonight with a 3-point loss, and that's tough to go down there to Worth County. The Rams are still undefeated at 12-0. They'll play Gordon Lee, and the Royals finish at 9-3 on the season. Still a great season for Vaughn last year. All right, Dublin gets knocked out as well. They lose tonight by the score of 28-13 by Fitzgerald. And the Fighting Irish finish at 9-3 on the season after beating Waco last week. All right, also, Jenkins County knocks out Sly County by the score of 41-20. That's the final score. The Wildcats finished 7-5, and Jenkins County will now play Bowden next week. Hawkinsville knocked out. They finished 9-3. They lose 56-0. Another horrible place to play in Lincolnton. That's very tough. Red Devils will now play Brooks County. And tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the GIAA State Championship, Brentwood at Southwest Georgia, and then Stratford, of course, will be against Brookstone. Both games at Mercer. The last one will start at 6 o'clock. Go Stratford, go Brentwood. That's our program for this week. We'll be back next Friday night. And remember, just watch us first. For now, I'm Bill Shanks, and for all of us at 41 NBC, good night.